What's up? My name is Zeb, and I'm the host of My Highway podcast, sponsored by Regions Bank. Today we have my friends Jameson Rodgers and Hunter Phelps on the podcast. Both are incredible songwriters and upcoming artists themselves. Jameson actually is celebrating his first #1 as an artist this week with his single Some Girls at Country Radio. Jameson is signed to Columbia, Nashville, and River House Artists. He also has a publishing deal at Combustion Music. Hunter is also an artist signed to Tape Room Music for publishing. On his own, Hunter has written songs for Dustin Lynch, Chase Rice, Hardy, Granger Smith, Cole Swindell, and more. Together, they have written songs for FGL, including Wish You Were On It and Talk You Out of It, as well as their most recent #1 with Chris Lane called I Don't Know About You. On this episode, we talk about them as a writer and an artist with almost 10 years experience in this town and how important it was for them to come up and meet their people early on and grow as a crew in this community. All right. Well, thank y'all for coming today and hanging out. I just wanted to get both of you in the same room because I know y'all harass each other a lot and you're like brothers in the industry. So I think it'd be really cool to talk about your careers as artists and songwriters. I just wanted to kick off today, Jameson or Hunter, whichever one of you want to start, just to talk about how you moved to town and the process of getting here. And
I mean, I moved here in 2010. I was just down at Southern Miss. I was a late bloomer picking the guitar up, and so I didn't pick the guitar up until I was a junior in college, and started writing songs at the same time with roommates. And roommates down at Southern Miss were songwriters, and we'd write some terrible songs, and people would request them around a campfire or whatever, and I was hooked. And so talked a roommate into moving up here, didn't know anybody, and met people like Hunter at Writers Nights, met him at the Commodore Grill. It's a funny story when I had another mutual buddy who was a writer. We don't really hang out with him much anymore, but Cameron Matthews had told me he had been at the Commodore a week or so before. And he was like, "Man, I saw this new guy." We used to go scout out other writers. And he was like, "Man, I saw this new guy, Hunter Phelps." He's like, "Man, I think he would fit in the crowd perfectly." And I was like, "I don't know. Well, I'll go see." And so I literally went to the Commodore. I wasn't even playing. He was just like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Hunter. Cameron was like, "Yeah, Hunter's playing tonight. You should come up here and listen to him." I was like, "All right, I'll see. I'll see."
when did you start playing guitar? Was it in college?
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was like a junior in college.
What made you pick it up?
I always loved to sing. I don't know, people in high school, I'd walk around the hallways singing like just random country songs, but I was always too shy. I was always so shy to like be the center of attention, and you know what I mean? Like,
did you think you could sing, or was it just one of those things that you did
just
because you love music?
I thought I could sing. I couldn't sing then, but I would always joke like, "Man, I'm going to move to Nashville one day." No, like thinking in the back of my mind, I'm probably not going to do that. And so I would say it jokingly. That way, if I didn't do it, they wouldn't judge me for not chasing my dreams or whatever. But yeah, my life is pretty random, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I think you plan it out more than you want people to know you do. Hunter, how about you? When did you move to town? When did you start playing music?
I moved to town in 2012, and I started playing guitar when I was about 12 years old. My dad was kind of he wrote songs around the house. He's probably written like 100 songs. So, I knew that like songwriters were a thing at an early age, which I don't really know how people know that songwriting is a thing. I don't know how they discover that, but that's how I did. And I just started playing guitar. I think there was like a book in my dad's little studio area that had like Travis Tritt tabs or something in it, and I started like learning Travis Tritt songs, and and then I ended up getting in a band in college. I wrote a song one night. Actually, it's kind of funny. I wrote a song because my buddy owns a marina, and it was like when Bama Breeze came out, and they were like, "Man, we need like a Bama Breeze for like our marina, like for the bar." And I was like, I'll try that. So we like wrote this song that was basically like a sales pitch for the bar. And I was like, that's kind of fun. And then I started writing songs and ended up joining a band in college and playing tailgates and
That's awesome.
drinking all the
Jameson,
beers.
did you play your songs that you wrote in college for everyone else around, or did you?
Oh
just,
yeah, that's why I got hooked on writing songs, because I just wanted to kind of sing. When I first started playing guitar, I just wanted to be Eric Church, honestly. His first record was like hot, or maybe he might have been on the second record by then, and I just wanted to sing those kind of songs. And I had a roommate that actually did spoken word poetry. It sounds silly, but he like won Southern Miss. I went to Southern Miss, so he won Southern Miss Got Talent one year. Just doing spoken word poetry. It was like Eminem up there, just like talking. It was insane. So me and him and another guy who ended up playing, who still plays in the major leagues, in the MLB, started writing these songs. We wrote a handful of songs, and people would just start requesting these songs around a campfire, or at the house or whatever. And so I was hooked.
Yeah. And when you both got to town, I know that's a big question a lot of people ask is like, all right, you're in town, you want to be a songwriter, what do you do next? And I feel like for everyone, the journey's a little different. I was just curious, what do you remember about that? What did you start to do? How did you make contacts with people? I know, Jameson, you said you went to the Commodore.
Yeah.
And I remember actually when I first moved to town going there to see people play too, because, at that point, everyone that you're friends with has just moved to town also, and they're getting any round they can get, and the Commodore will let everyone play. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Funny story. I don't even think Hunter knows this story, but so me and my dad came up here. I moved here in August 2010, but me and my dad came up here right after the flood in May of 2010 to look for apartments and stuff to live in. And we went to the Commodore. I just Googled, like, where do they have songwriter nights, whatever. And so we went to the Commodore, and Sarah was playing that night. Her and her dad, actually. I don't even think Hunter knows that story. But and I didn't meet her that night. I just noticed her and noted that, and kind of funny, random story. But yeah, I forgot to. I don't think anybody knows that story, but what was the question? Oh yeah, we just went to a bunch of. I went to every writer's night possible. I met literally a ton of my crew that I still hang out with today from writers' nights back in the day, like Bluebird, Douglas Corner. There used to be a place called That's Cool that I used to go to a lot. Did you ever do that?
Mm-mm.
No. What was that place on the north?
Place.
What was on the north end, or the Cajun place? Or what was that? You
Red
remember?
Rooster?
No. I mean, that was a place too.
I think the Red Rooster is now where Why Not Wednesdays is at.
Yeah.
Because it's changed 100 times.
There was a Red Rooster. Where's Why Not? I thought
It's
y'all
at
did
Live
it on
Oak now.
Demumbrian.
Yeah, no, we do it on Demumbrian Hill, yeah, where Live Oak is. But
There
that
used to be a Red Rooster right
Broken
across from
Spoke
12th and Porter, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, the Rooster. There was a
That's
Red
what it
Rooster.
was. The
and a
Rooster. The Rooster was right across from 12th and Porter.
Yeah. We played there one night. That's where
Yeah.
I saw Sarah
Yeah.
the first time.
And so then you just start writing with those people that you were friends with, and how many of them now do y'all think you still write with?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, a handful. I mean,
Oh.
all of like the OG crew, I feel like was
Yeah.
from Writers Rounds.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, probably, I don't know, 25%, rough estimate. I don't know.
So, Jameson, you brought up Sarah, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into it.
Yeah.
Recently engaged. Tell the world the story and how you did it.
So I met Sarah. I officially met Sarah. I told you I saw her at the Commodore, but I met her. She wasn't even living in town then. She was just visiting, but she moved in town in 2011, and she was going to MTSU. And me and her did this songwriter workshop at the Bluebird. So I met her at the Bluebird. Took me 4 years to ask her out, just because we were dating other people, whatever. And anyway, fast forward, I tricked her last week. I always knew that I wanted to, when I was going to do that, I wanted to do it at the Bluebird. I just did. I thought I might have to do it like during a show, like we might be playing a show together. But luckily with COVID, the Bluebird is closed, so I got to rent it out. And so Sarah thought she was going to do a video for a documentary that I made up. Got my manager to send her a crazy long email with so many weird details. It's kind of psycho how many details. Love you, JP. But it made it look so legit. And so she walked in the Bluebird thinking she was going to be filmed for a documentary, and I was there waiting. It was good.
Hunter, tell your story. I know you're married, but catch us up on how you proposed. And
I proposed. It's kind of funny. I mean, I'm pretty awkward.
Same.
So the first time I asked her out, we were walking. I used to play downtown at Tootsie's, and it was a Thursday night, and I was walking, down to Tootsie's, and we'd been like hanging out and talking for a long time, probably 2 or 3 months now, and we never really talked about any of that stuff. And we were like right in front of the Ryman if you're on 4th Street, and we were like walking, holding hands or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, are you my girlfriend?" Like, that's how I asked her out. And she was like, "I guess so." And that's how it got started or whatever. So then on our 5-year anniversary from that, I made up a story that we were going to meet people over here for drinks. And then when we walked by that spot, I was like, "This is where I asked you out 5 years ago. That's crazy." And she was like, "That is crazy." And I was like, "It'd be crazy if I proposed right now, wouldn't it?" She was like, "That would be crazy." And then I got down on a knee, and she was like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?"
That's
But
awesome.
I got her. I surprised her.
Were we roommates when you met her?
No. It was like a
It was
month
close
before.
though. Yeah. I remember you. Because he played, like you said, he played at Tootsie's 3 nights a week back then.
Yep.
And he was like, "Man, I met this girl I like." And I was like, "Okay, yeah.
Mm.
But he did. He liked her.
Hunter, was that your main way of making money before you had a publishing deal, was playing on Broadway?
It was, yeah. A lot of people kind of don't like to play downtown. They say it's not the right move or whatever. But I don't know, man. If you know enough songs, you can make a bunch of money and still write 4 days a week, which is what I was doing. I'm struggling to talk right now. If you
I
can't
think
tell.
he's still.
That's
I
all
think he's emotional about his engagement story.
Oh, God. Jameson, what did you do before you got your publishing deal?
God, I had no money. Worked at FedEx for like a year or two. My back. That's why my back still hurts. That's why I'm an old man now.
Morgan and Morgan, dude.
Huh?
Morgan and Morgan.
Maybe they'll sponsor our podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I had just some random part-time jobs, and I would go back to Mississippi and play like acoustic shows like once a month, and just lived super frugal. And I was very poor, and just tried to write a bunch of great songs back then. I feel like that's probably the most important thing I probably have done the whole time, was try to write great songs. You know?
Yeah.
And when do you think, I mean, I say that, songwriters are at all different stages when they move to Nashville, but I think everyone always thinks the last song they wrote or one they wrote the last week is one of their best. When do you think that you first started realizing, like, hey, these are next caliber of songs? How long did that take in town?
I mean, for me, I got a pub deal in 2014. I feel like it took about a year, maybe, of like, I feel like I just went like songwriting boot camp, because me and Hunter got a deal at the same time.
Same week.
Yeah, same week. And because I remember
I beat him by 6
he
days.
did. He beat me by 6 days. It hurt. It did. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my songs still suck today. I don't know if I ever got a moment where I was just like, man, I'm legit. You know what I mean? It's just like, God, you write so many that after, I guess, a few hundred songs, you kind of at least know how to make it not suck.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's more that than anything. You know what I mean?
You feel the same way, Hunter?
I mean, it's kind of funny. I got really lucky when I moved to town because, like, my first week in town was the night that he came out of the Commodore and watched me play or whatever. So I think Jameson was my second co-write.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd already been in town for
2 years.
2 years or something like that. So he kind of knew, like, I mean, I was green, like, as far as songwriting goes. Like, not saying there's rules, but like there's a way to write a better song than, you know, the songs you were writing when you're 18. And it was just good for me to be able to write with folks that have been here. And then you introduced me to Brandon Lay and a couple other people that had been writing, you know, they were already writing good songs when I started writing with them. So I kind of picked up on that pretty quick. But
Hunter had his own thing he brought in, like that was super fresh and cool. And
oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, man, you're great, dude.
Yeah,
you're great.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I was about to say, take this in. Y'all are being nice to each
he
other.
Had great hair.
Still does.
It was
that first song we finished was Smoke?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's still a hit, by the way. You should probably cut that.
Wait, which song?
I'll pitch it to Hardy.
It's he had this whole chorus written of like the most insane thing I've ever even heard. It was like it wasn't rap, but it was like, how would you even describe it?
I don't even know.
It was just
it was kind of like the Dirt Road Anthem.
Yeah.
It was in that like,
but a little tougher than that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but more redneck sounding like.
So who wrote it? You two and
just us two.
Yeah. But I played it for him after we attempted to write a different song, and I played that chorus. I was like, check this out. I wrote this last night. He was like, you have to write that with me.
I did, man. That was like, I'd never heard anything like it. I was like, it's like, light another tater. What was that?
Yeah.
That's
light another tater.
Blow a little smoke your way. Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense talking the lyrics out, but if you heard it, you'd be like, damn, that's badass.
I wish we had a guitar. I would make you play it.
I tried the other night at the listening room. And
you tried to play that? Oh, God.
Hard. Whoever was there, if any of you guys were there, I'm sorry for that.
Well, that was my next question is, have y'all played anything out? What's the last live show you've done, and how have you been coping with the times? I know that's a common question, but I feel like we've learned a lot about ourselves during this time.
I mean, I think I've played 2 writers' nights. I don't. Have you played any?
Just one.
Yeah, I played one listening room, and then one at at the Governor's Club in Nashville. It's like a private thing, but yeah, I mean, it sucks because we were on such a roll.
I was supposed to go out with you the week COVID hit.
Me and Hunter, we were supposed to go to New York.
Yeah. And we would call each other like every week.
And Hunter would be like,
I
don't know if I want to go up there. I'd be like, dude, we're doing it. We're going. We're playing. It's going to be fine. And then it just got worse every day. And but it does suck just because, you know, you want to feel the momentum of everything happening right now. But better days ahead. And, I think we'll get back to normal next year.
Do you think that your ability to find a creative spot to write during this time has been better?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I've never had this. I haven't had this much time to write in 2 or 3 years, so I'm a tad burnt at the moment, maybe, just because I mean I haven't written this much in a long time.
Is that why you canceled tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm playing golf tomorrow.
Getting messed up, dude.
Speaking of, I want to jump into this because I put together a little game for y'all, and it is a who is better at game.
Oh, God.
And the first question is, who is better at golf?
When Hunter, here's the answer. It's about 50-50 only because if Hunter's on his game playing great, I can't beat him. Like I can play my best game and I still can't beat him. But he's not always on his best game. He has a tad bit of a mental problem sometimes on the golf course.
Temper?
No temper. No temper. Just
when it's over for me.
If he has a bad hole late and the game is close, it's I tend to do a little better in those situations. And
he also knows how to like mess with you on the golf course. Like he'll wait till it's an important shot or an important hole, and he'll be like, "Man, I just looked at the scorecard. Like you're only 3 over right now, and you'd play really good if you did good the rest of the round."
Dude, we just we did this golf trip. It was like 20 of us went to Pinehurst, North Carolina, and so me and Hunter are all pumped. We're getting to play a U.S. Open course, and like we're on number 1, and we're just like our knees are shaking. We're so nervous. And I've never seen Hunter play so nervous in my life. He was topping golf balls. I was like, well, what is happening right now?
Yeah. I was I wouldn't have been mad if it had started raining. We had to take it in and restart.
Oh man, we've probably played 1,000 rounds of golf. So, and we've probably about even, honestly. But I will say, sorry, I keep interrupting. Me and him as a team, are we undefeated? I mean, we could be.
Yeah, we definitely are.
But
Hunter, I'm backing you when he said you're better than him, right? That was the first line that came out of his mouth.
I will say he's better than me.
I mean, I don't know. It is pretty even for real.
I thought y'all were going to fight over this, and both of you are like, no, he's better than me.
I think
this year he's better than me.
I might
He's
have
beat
had,
me more times.
I've had a better year this year, but overall, I think Hunter is a better golfer.
I just got a new driver too, so
who's better at baseball/softball?
Jameson.
I'm
better at softball.
Hunter dropped a fly ball last night. It's almost like me.
Yeah. Speak about that, Jameson. What happened last night?
You talking about the game?
Before the game.
Before the game. Yeah, I got surprised. I hadn't been surprised ever, I don't think, like that. Show up to the ballpark, pull up, and I'm like, get there. My fiance, Sarah, tricked me and was like, hey, we're going to go early and, we're going to drink with Hunter and Hardy at the game before and, kind of hang out. And I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool. I don't know why I bought that, but I did. And we pull up and I was like, man, why is my booking agent over there? Like I saw Darren Murphy, who is like, out of all the people in Nashville, I'd be like, there's no way Darren Murphy is coming to this softball game tonight. And so I was like, why in the world is Darren Murphy standing over there? And then I was like, wait, there's Sean McSpadden. There's Chris Whiter. And it was like, I see a bunch of people on my team. Anyway, they surprised me with a gold record plaque for some girls. And it's been a journey for that one, man. I mean, I put that song out literally 3 years ago. Fall of 17, I think. And it was just a whole ordeal cutting it too and putting it out. So it's been an insane journey for that one. So it's gonna be kind of bittersweet to see that one peak and go on to the next chapter, I guess.
And I think for me, on the outside looking in, it's cool to see that people like you can still have traction without touring and things happening. I think that was a big scare for everyone in the beginning, as touring is getting yourself in front of so many fans and growing your fan base. But I think that, kudos to everyone in the business and y'all included on doing things that you wouldn't normally do, like lives and getting involved with, radio interviews and things to get your name out there more. Because, I mean, even though touring side is shut down right now, I think that there's still ways to find traction as a new artist. And you're honestly proving that. So kudos to you.
I also got lucky last year with Combs, getting to go out with him and meet every radio person across the country. So
it's awesome.
Lucky dude, man.
All right, back to the game. So who is, I think I know the answer to this, but who's better at talking?
I don't know.
You
think?
He's gotten better. I think he's gotten better.
For sure, not me. It's my third interview of my life.
For sure, not me.
All right, when you go into the room, who's better at the idea and who's better at landing the hook?
Oh, man.
Lord.
These are tough questions here.
I feel like we're streaky. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like we all go, we just go through streaks with ideas. I'd for sure go through streaks with ideas.
Yeah, I mean, you had the idea for, I don't know about you.
Yeah. You had Talk You Out of It. Who had Wish You Were on It?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Smith?
You had Cobra Call My Name.
Yeah.
Missing One just kind of came up in conversation in the room.
I think we all can hear them. It's just saving them for the right time.
How does that happen when you go into the room, especially with people who are as close as you two? Do you just pull out your phone and be like, hey, these are the ideas I have, these are the ideas I have, and then you just kind of jump back and forth until it's one that y'all think you can write that day? Or do you kind of pre-plan? Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty strategic with ideas.
Yeah.
I feel like I save, like, if I know it's going to be good for, even if I don't have the right book, like, if I know that the idea is good for this person, I'll wait till I'm in the room. Like, I've had ideas on my phone that I think are good for 2 or 3 years. I have one that is like 3 years old that I'm scared to.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
well,
man. I get it, yeah.
female artist.
Way bigger artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving it for Chesney.
Yeah.
It's really good, dude.
But I think, honestly, talking about growing as an artist, I think that's one of the things that you learn as you get more, experience as a writer is you don't always go in wanting to throw out the most recent and best idea you have because you strategize.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people on the outside looking in think that us in the music business or you as writers are just living your best life every day. But I think that it takes a lot of mental work. And it takes a lot of planning and strategizing and getting prepared for writes like that because you want to go in with an idea that you think is going to work for Jameson when you're writing with him or, whoever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you have a crew where, you throw out your best ideas no matter what. You just throw out everything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, as much as me and Hunter write together, we always have something that we've talked about before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we write together so much, we throw out so many ideas and we're just like, I have his name by, 10 ideas in my phone. So it's like, I feel like we've always got something to write. You know what I mean? We're never just sitting in the room, twiddling our thumbs. You know what I mean?
So, for example, when you guys write as much as you do, just talk about that for a minute. How much do you write now that you have, Jameson, you have a lot of artist stuff going on. Hunter, you do as well. Now that we're in quarantine, some days is Zoom, some days aren't Zoom. You're writing with people that you trust. But how often do you write as a writer and an artist? What does that look like on a weekly basis?
Get it, Gavin?
I mean, I feel like every song that I start, if it's for me, I have ideas that I save for me. I don't know if this is an answer to the question you just asked, but when I know within the first line of the song whether it's going to be for me or not for some reason. I don't know. I have certain ideas that I save for me as an artist, and then I'm down to write anything that anybody wants to write in the room.
He never writes ideas that if he knows he wants to cut it, he never writes it with me. I can't. I couldn't buy a Hunter.
Why do you
Phelps
think
cut.
that is, Jameson?
I don't know because he has so many cuts.
I'm cutting one.
It's unbelievable, Zeph. It's unbelievable. I mean,
oh my gosh. That's because I'm trying to get on that Jameson Rodgers record every time
he's about to have probably my next 2 singles, and I just can't even buy. I just can't even buy an album cut on Hunter. I can't even buy an album.
Listen to this.
It's unreal.
I think he's just saving you for whenever it's time for the big hits to happen.
Unbelievable. Unreal.
So do you write, are both of you pretty much 5-day-a-week writers, or do you, Jameson, now do you find yourself writing less because of everything else you have going on?
I mean, the year of coronavirus, I'm writing at least 4 days a week probably, just because there's literally nothing else to do. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much golf you can play and so many fish to catch, I guess.
You ain't caught no fish.
Yeah, I know. Hunter's been begging me to get a boat. I'm just not a boat guy. I'm just saving the money for Deerland. But I'm very. Am I ADD or what would you call it?
I think you are. You've been flipping your phone on the table the entire hour.
I'm pretty. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that leads me to the next question. Who's a better fisherman?
Oh, God.
Oh, I got him.
Yeah, that's not even close.
What about hunting?
Oh, here we go.
I mean, that's funny you asked that.
Yeah, that is funny. You should tell the story when we met.
So back to the Commodore story. I don't know why. I just assumed that if you wrote country music that you deer hunted, clearly. I just thought that. I don't know. I just figured that everybody was really red that wrote country music. And then I moved to town. I met you my first week, and Cameron came up to me at the bar, and we'd already met before. And he's like, "What up, man? Good to see you again." And I was like, "What's up, dude?" I was like, and somehow I got to deer hunt. I don't even know how I got to deer hunt. I was like, "You deer hunt?" And he was like, "No, but my buddy Jameson does." So that's how we literally
that's how we met.
He walked over and I remember him walking over and he puts his arms like this and he puts them on the bar and he goes, "So you hunt?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, my buddy Cameron told me that you
I was
deer
like,
hunt.
This boy from Florida, he don't
and he's
know
like,
anything.
"Where do you hunt?" And I was like, "Alabama." And he's like, And I was like, "What's this dude's deal? Is he freaking sizing up my hunting skills right now or what?" And I was like, where do you hunt? He was like, Mississippi. And I was like, sweet. I don't. But yeah. Anyways, we started talking about
we
deer hunting.
learned that we both our two favorite things during hunting season are Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes and chocolate milk. And so when I found that out, I was like, oh yeah, we're boys. We're gonna be brothers. It's gonna be great.
What a story.
So does that mean that both of you like to get up early? Because that was the next question. Who's better at getting up early?
I can't sleep late to save
Yeah, I
my
can't
life.
either.
Well, we're both probably about the same with that.
I'm the opposite. If I didn't set an alarm, I'd sleep till noon every day.
I wish.
Really?
Yeah, I can do it.
I'm definitely 7 o'clock
No, yeah.
every day.
Who's better at playing guitar?
I don't
Jameson
know.
for sure.
Me?
I'm terrible at guitar.
I don't know. I feel like you quit trying to play guitar
Yeah.
like a year or two ago.
Well, what happened is like all these, like you go to a right now and there's a guy there that's great at guitar and making tracks.
Yeah.
So
Artist
you're like,
hang.
I'm not gonna pick up.
I don't need to play guitar.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just played on a record, for crying out loud.
Oh my god.
You were a session
that
guitar
is a
player now.
fluke. What a
Wait,
fluke.
tell that story. What are you talking about?
Oh god. So we wrote, me and Hunter and Ashley and Zach wrote with Dustin Lynch. It was a 5-way. What did we write? 3-4 songs?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was this dumb guitar. It was like literally so dumb that a studio guitar player couldn't play it that dumb. So that's why I got to play acoustic guitar on a Dustin
He's
Lynch
on the record.
song.
I hope it's in the credits because
I
I'll
hope
frame
is
it for
too.
you.
That's going to be a very cool credit. Just a random. I want credits all across. I want to be very versatile. You know what I mean with my career. I don't want to just be like a good.
Who did y'all grow up listening to? Who were your influences?
I mean, I grew up listening. 90s country. I call it baseball music, like Petty and Mellencamp and that whole world. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, the first music I remember is like Garth, whatever album he was wearing, the blue and black checkered shirt.
Yes.
And then,
Oh yeah,
what was that? Rope.
I can't
Rope in
remember
the
the name
Wind.
of it.
Yeah.
Maybe?
And then McGraw, the record with the Indian Outlaw. And then I kind of went, like everybody does. I went like to rap for a while and in middle school and high school and all that stuff, and then came back to country.
Yeah, I remember my parents wouldn't let us listen to anything but country, and I had a Walkman, so I would hide it under my bed with the Nelly Country Grammar CD in it, and I thought I was the coolest kid on the planet.
Oh yeah,
Man, I feel so guilty now because I'm in the music industry, but dude, I wore LimeWire out.
me too.
Oh, so did I.
I mean, just
I wrecked 2 laptops making burn
Me
CDs.
too, me
we were
too.
just talking about that this week. Yeah.
me too.
That's where I got Church's first stuff.
Really?
Yeah, Sinners Like Me, the whole record.
I think I bought that record for some odd reason.
Sorry,
I don't know
Eric.
why. But does it still exist? Like, can I get on LimeWire right
think it
now and
does.
download a song?
Yeah, but why would you want to
I know,
now?
but
I
I
guess if
know
you
I
didn't want to pay
wouldn't.
for
I think
one
you
of
have
the
to pay
streaming apps.
for it now. I don't know.
crazy.
I'm just literally making stuff up now.
I mean, I went home. Last time I went home, I was going through a box of stuff and found all these burned CDs that I'd made
I'm about to
over the
Google it.
years.
We'll have a lawsuit
Last
next week.
question on here. I got sidetracked, but the last question is, who's better at social media?
Oh, jeez.
We're both pretty bad.
I would say definitely me. That's because I don't have anybody telling me that I have to do anything on it. So if it sits for a while, it sits. I am pretty bad though. I'll admit it.
I mean, I'll say this: if I wasn't an artist trying to, do that whole deal, I might not even have an Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I might be that guy.
This is really when I wish Emma had a mic, because for everyone who doesn't know, Emma films a lot of Jameson stuff on the road, and I think that
Oh, she's the only reason I have good content ever.
there's a lot of good content that never sees the light of day because Jameson doesn't want to post it.
She's just shaking her head.
All right, well, diving back in, a few things on the songwriting side that I wanted to talk about was what it was like when you signed your first publishing deal. I know a lot of people who listen to these music-related podcasts want to know, when they get to that point, what do you do? Is it important to have an attorney? How does that work? What was it like for you? And if you could give advice to somebody going through that process or looking for a publishing deal, what would you tell them?
Get it, Gavin.
I would say, I mean, are you saying like if they already had people interested?
Well, it was kind of
Or
a
just-
loaded question. I went all in, I know.
Yeah.
Mainly the first part of it is just, when you start to feel like as a writer that you don't have a publishing deal, but you have songs that,
Right, that are
could
good.
get you a publishing deal, what would you encourage those people to do?
Man, I remember having songs that I knew were good, and I would play them for people, either like the work tapes or whatever, and send them around, and you wouldn't get a great response. But finally, I had 5 songs that I felt like were good, so I took them to the studio and paid guys to, cut the songs and make them sound, like a demo. And once I did that, that's when it started like moving. Like once people heard it and they're like, "Oh, okay, I get what's going on." And I might have got lucky with the
I had
guys
2
that I
songs.
worked
I
with.
did have 2 songs on that EP.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I didn't
okay,
put that EP
yeah,
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you were on it. You didn't make it.
Sure.
Dude, I Love This Town was on that one
It
though.
was.
Well, and I actually want to piggyback off of that. I think one thing, too, for especially during a time like this, I always encourage young writers to try to learn how to build basic tracks and do things, out of their comfort zone, because being able to do anything more than write, especially with all the technology that's out there now, being able to do like a good guitar vocal or at least give some kind of life to the song, even if you're not a full out producer track guy, I think that brings value to a work tape too.
It's funny. I think me and Hunter are probably the last generation to come up without track guys. Like when we first signed our pub deal, I remember writing with Will Weatherly the first time.
Oh, dude.
And it was just like, because he is an amazing writer and track guy, but like he was like the first track heavy guy that we had written with, and my mind was just blown. I was just like, what is happening? This is the best song ever now. And so now it's just, I mean, if you're just a writer, you almost kind of, you don't have to be able to work tracks, but God, it's very, very valuable these days. So it's, we're probably the last generation to be able to get a pub deal without being able to do tracks, unfortunately. But to answer your question on the advice on pub deal, I think probably the most important thing is finding a champion, like somebody that freaking wakes up and thinks about you, thinks about your calendar, thinks about songs they can pitch for you. I mean, I think that's more important than literally anything. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's super important. I would say something equally as important is, I mean, like the crew, like what we, like our group of friends have. I mean, I think that's.
Oh yeah, that finding a crew that to hang with and write with all, for sure. That's what's helped me and Hunter so much, just because we have 10 or 12, 15 guys in a circle that are just like brothers, and I feel like we've all come up together, and it's just stronger as a group, I would say.
Well, and I feel like you see that too, right? Like one person gets a deal and then they start pulling everyone else over the wall, because it's like, well, who'd you write this with? On the business side, it's like, who are you writing with? And then they start naming these people that you've never heard of or don't have publishing deals. As a publisher, then you start to be like, oh crap, who's working with them? How do you get involved with that? So I think that's a great advice. I didn't even think about that.
That's the same thing Blaine told me whenever he first heard my songs. He was like, and I looked at the co-writers and I didn't know who they were. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, something's happening over here.
Same with Falcon. He was the same. He was like, man, he would preach it all the time. He's like, I'm telling y'all are the next class. Y'all are the next class to come up. And at the time when you're in it, and it's like, it's just tough. You want to believe him, but I mean, there's definitely times where you're just like, God, I hope he's
I remember the first, you remember the crew thing that is whenever I, like the night I met Hardy.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the viewing party. Downtown. The CMA viewing party.
The night you met Hardy.
You introduced me to him.
Oh.
You told that story the other night.
I did?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Anyways.
He said he's getting old, so.
Yeah, he must be getting...
I introduced you to Hardy? How?
Yeah, we were sitting at the bar eating nachos.
Take credit, Jameson.
Anyways, you did. But,
So I should probably get a percentage of every song y'all write.
Yeah, definitely. You should.
All right.
For sure. I don't even know where
I
was
you talking
going
about? You talking about the night we went dressed in t-shirts? Remember that?
I think it was actually.
because we didn't know it was like.
That was nice stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
With me and Hunter rolled up to the crew party that they do on Tin Roof for CMA Awards. Had no idea that it was like dress up. We rolled up in jeans and T-shirts. And like I was so uncomfortable.
At least you were a standout though.
Yeah, in a bad way.
Yeah, we stood out.
That was actually, I've met a lot of people going to those parties too.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing too that I was going to ask that y'all have talked a lot about, just real quick, y'all have multiple songs that's been on the charts as co-writers with Florida Georgia Line, Chris Lane, and more. Now Jameson might have another one coming with you on it, but we're not going to talk about that either. But one of the things that I wanted to really dive into that I think you two both do really well that a lot of people, struggle with is being a songwriter and an artist. And I think that personally, I think it takes a lot of different headspace. So I wanted y'all to talk about that. How do you approach something as a songwriter, but then approach it differently as an artist? When you go into a room, I know, Hunter, you talked about, this idea is for me, save it for certain people or vice versa. How do you know that? How do you separate that headspace and become successful at both?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's me and Hunter. I think both were songwriters first, and so I think that's really the main reason why we're able to kind of separate that. Because if you become a songwriter second, I feel like that's just I don't know. It what am I trying to say?
I feel like people wouldn't treat you as a songwriter.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They would be like, well, why didn't you cut it? Like if you were an artist and then trying to pitch songs.
Yeah.
Well, and I think once you get to a certain level as an artist, people start to think songs aren't good if you don't cut them.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about that literally outside. Like it sucks because you're a songwriter at heart and you can only cut so many songs as an artist. And so it does suck because when people hear your vocal on a demo, they're just like, well, if it's not good enough for him, why would it be good enough for me? I mean, I've literally heard that from, not about me or Hunter, but about another one of our buddies, like their publishers pitching songs to other friends, whatever.
Yeah.
And they were just like, man, I'm not cutting a B-side blank song. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But I don't think, and Jameson, I'm going to brag on you for a second, but I don't think you've got to that point where you are. I feel like people still look at you as a great songwriter and a great artist. And I think a lot of the traction that you got as an artist was because of the EP that you put out with Some Girls on it.
Yeah.
And it was such a great written EP, but they still look and respect both of you as songwriters, but they know that you both do artist things. So I guess that's where I was trying to dig into and see like where your headspace is at, because a lot of times you're right, like being a songwriter first is probably what helped that, but there's a lot of people that come to town to try to do both, and it ends up they get in a room with another artist and they write a song that's right down the middle, could be a little bit Hunter and a little bit Jameson, and no one ends up cutting it. So I guess that was, what advice would you give somebody who's trying to do both?
God,
If that was your goal to do both, I feel like just be a songwriter first and make sure everybody knows you're a songwriter, and like the artist thing is,
I mean, the good songs take care of everything. Yeah. Literally. Like they will, like if you have great songs, it doesn't matter if you're bad at social media. It doesn't matter if you're, go get a DUI or whatever. It doesn't matter if you go, it doesn't matter. If you have great songs take care of everything. I feel like, you know what I mean? You might want to cut that out. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, we're definitely leaving that. It's true.
That's aggressive, but that was good.
It was pretty aggressive.
No, but it's right. I mean, look at some of the legend songwriters.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know Dean Dillon, and he's a legend, and he's had his day,
Oh, yeah.
And he still made it through all of that, and I've watched him play.
Yeah.
Multiple times, and now all he drinks is Coke. But
so I think the most important thing is great songs. Try to focus on the songs, man. Don't worry about going and playing 300 shows when you're first starting out. I mean, that stuff's great too, but I mean, it's like great songs just open so many more doors. You know what I mean? Or at least it has for me.
And I know we made the joke about you being bad at social media, Jameson, but I did jump over something I wanted to go back to. I'm pretty sure that Reverb Nation helped you get a publishing deal.
It did.
So I think you might want to go back on this and tell people that they should use social media so they can get a deal.
Well, it wasn't because I was active on Reverb Nation for sure.
Yeah, you missed the message by what, 2 months?
I did. Like, so Falcon at Combustion, at the time, okay, I was in this thing with ASCAP called the GPS program, and so they pick 12 writers every year, and they send you to a different publisher every month. And so I was in the middle of that year, and this was when Reverb Nation was a thing. Is it even a thing anymore? I don't think so. Anyway, Falcon from Combustion, had no idea who that was, never heard of him, anything. He sends me a message on Reverb Nation, like, "Hey man, love your music, hit me back, Chris." That's all he said. He didn't say, "I work for a publishing company." He didn't say any of that. And so I ignored it. I just didn't even, why? No, I'm not responding to that. And so 2 days later, I get an email from him and my rep at ASCAP, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I get it now." Anyway, so 2 meetings later, I had a pub deal, and so.
Man, you'd have probably beat me to the pub deal.
Probably would have.
If you'd have been better at social media.
I probably would have. It's funny because this week or last week, Matt Still, so somebody from Bobby Bones, somebody on that show sent everyone in the top 10 a DM. And Matt Still is the only person that responded, and so they crowned him the king of country music that week. And so I went back and I looked at the DMs, and it was I can't remember what guy it was from Bobby Bones, but the message was, "Hey, you there?" I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna respond to that. Come on, like I can't believe Matt responded."
If you didn't do music, what would be your plan B? What was your plan B?
Oh, I'm a coach for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I went to college for construction, so that would have been plan B while I was, in college or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like I would just be like a hunting guide or a fishing guide, or do both.
I feel like I'd be a good game warden.
You would.
I
would hate to see
I would
you.
chase Hunter around. I'd catch him putting corn out.
I don't do that.
I'd be a really good game warden.
And I did forget something. Talk about, why do they call you Coach, Jameson?
Hunter actually came up with that nickname. I don't know. It's probably they say I dress like a coach sometimes. I probably do.
Everyone go look at the photos from yesterday of his gold
come
plaque.
on. I mean,
literally coaching our softball team.
I was about to play a softball game, and I don't know. I mean, we hang with a bunch of, or at least, 5 years ago, they were probably wilder than I was, and so I was always the guy trying to keep them straight, keep them in line, and so they nicknamed me Coach.
Mm-hmm.
And why does he give you the nickname Gavin? Why does he keep calling you Gavin?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know why. We lived together for 2 years, and we were just sitting in the living room one day.
And we were just like, what would our names be? Like, what do I look like?
Yeah.
What do we look like if my name wasn't Hunter?
And that's
what
where
do
Coach
I look
came
like?
from.
I can see that.
And so I was like, dude, you look like Gavin.
Gavin. I don't even know a Gavin.
You look like you grew up surfing in San Diego.
No. I didn't.
So what does 2021 look like for both of you?
I hope a lot better than 2020.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm just praying we get to play some shows. My gosh.
I know you had a tour planned. Is that in planning on coming back?
Yeah.
You gonna have me back out there?
On
record? Come on, say it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Come on now.
We'll see.
I think it'll happen.
But yeah, hopefully, God. I mean, I would literally play a show every day next year, probably after this year. So
Mm-hmm.
You say that now until we get to about March, halfway
I
through
know,
March.
I know.
You're going to miss this house.
I know.
Well, thank y'all for hanging out tonight. I know y'all have crazy schedules, and with everything going on, you like being at home and sitting out here and hanging out and not having to do all this music-related stuff. So thank you for taking the time and doing this with me.
So when do we get paid? Is that?
Oh, ask Emma.
Oh,
I
we
think
don't
Emma's
get
going to
paid
handle
for
that
this,
for
or-
us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Emma's gonna pay us for that.
Yeah, she'll
Okay.
pay you. So tell everyone, I know y'all said you're bad at social media, but if they want to follow the couple posts that you do make, where can they find you at, Hunter?
Instagram.
Only Instagram.
Hunter Phelps music.
What about you?
Jameson Rodgers. Jameson like the whiskey. Rodgers with a D. No,
Thank you, really.
Thanks for having us, man.